Hello
Okay.
there, Gia.
Hello, Keisha. We'll do our best.
We're gonna do our
We're going
best,
to do our
everybody.
best.
Which might be new. I don't know if you've ever heard us at our best.
Maybe sometime early on when we had some organizing principles going on and we were
Yeah, I know. I was thinking before we got on, I was just going to ask you, instead of organizing principles, just like for like what of over the last 3 days left some sort of an impression on you?
Oh, that's a good way to go about it. Okay.
Is it? Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I'm trying to think now what made an impression on me. Somebody had a good line. What was it?
Hmm.
Oh, you go first while I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, I don't know if this is going to surprise anybody, but for me, uh, the whole like Willow thing and her initially acting like sort of indignant that she wasn't allowed to entertain gentlemen callers,
Yeah.
on the Quartermain property. That just seemed so absurd to me. And she seemed like she used to be smart enough, and I think is still smart enough that she should understand what that sounds like. But then she sort of like shifted her position by today and acted like, that wasn't right, and
Yeah,
but that
she
seems stupid too, because it's like, how does she know today what she didn't know 2 days ago?
Well, because she's under the power of the Drew's schnitzel, and so it takes away.
Is thin meat.
Yeah, it takes away. It's so weird. Thin meat. Do you remember an old Roseanne show? The old
Yeah.
Roseanne show, early, and they had a
Uh-huh.
loose meat sandwich shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That
was always like,
sounded,
"What is that a thing? Loose meat?" It's so
I don't
odd
know, but
sounding.
it could have been a stepping stone onto my veganism.
That show, you mean, or the
The
idea of
loose
loose
meat,
meat?
yeah, they showed them making those loose meat sandwiches. Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you
I
must have
was
been in
already
plenty of sandwich shops before that show, like,
plenty. You think I
yeah.
was hanging on at sandwich
I
shops?
don't know. I just feel like in some time in your life you'll spend time in a sandwich shop and see.
Yeah, but just that was like the one thing they served, wasn't it? It was like
Yeah, it was
just
a
those.
weird.
That
Yeah.
just seemed like a weird concept and kind of
What was that
awful.
restaurant near you? It was like House of Roast Beef and Pizza or something odd.
Yeah, over
Remember
here,
that?
you mean?
No, it was like when you were in another town, and
Hmm.
it was near that place that had the massive wheel of cheese with a massive mouse on top.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
also always a house of roast beef around in
Maybe it
these
was
main
yeah,
towns.
House of Roast Beef. You know, it was a
Yeah.
whimsical stretch of businesses.
Whimsical. Not for the cows.
But I always just loved the wine and cheese store. They're like, we're gonna really let you know that we have cheese in here because it is a wheel of cheese.
Yeah,
Like
big
the whole
mouse on the roof
building.
holding a
Yeah,
wheel of
massive.
cheese. Yeah.
Yeah,
Classy.
yeah. Um.
Anyway, so I guess
Anyway, so
this
we digress.
yeah, so my approach did not work at all.
But Drew, in that conversation where Willow seemed to come to her senses and point out to Drew that what they did was
Oh,
really
that was yeah.
disrespectful to Michael to be
Yeah.
banging on
And
his
then
couch in his house in the
his
and Drew
response.
said, yeah, he said something about, I don't remember how he said it, but I was like, what? He said something about how it would be disrespectful to Michael if they didn't like show
Yeah,
their true feelings for each other. Like, what are you
I
talking
mean,
about?
I honestly, I mean, how could anybody, including Willow, even if she's, really into him, how could she possibly hear that and
Yeah,
not
and
think,
not,
wow,
yeah, like, wow. Yeah.
he's a real scumbag. I love him, but he's a
I
scumbag.
love him. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know if anything made a super big like impression, but I had a lot of moments like that. Like,
Yeah.
another moment I had where I must confess for like 2 of the days I was sort of multitasking, so I was not thoroughly paying attention.
Absorbed. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
and so I kind of missed. I'm hoping you can explain to me
Oh
what
boy.
happened in the scene with where Sasha and Tracy
Mhm.
suddenly, like, Tracy was suddenly all sympathetic and
Yeah.
kind.
Well,
Like, what was her explanation there?
that was another situation where somebody suddenly does an about face, like, and we had seen Tracy being so, like, hostile towards everybody,
Yeah, she's been on
including
screech
Sasha.
mode for a
Yeah,
while. Yeah.
totally, and it's almost like they got our notes, or I'm sure they got notes from everybody that, like, let's
Yeah.
dial it back because this is unpleasant, but that seemed like sort of like a kind of a random, you know, switch about face with we didn't get
Right.
like at least one step that we needed to help explain how she
Okay,
got
so
there.
that wasn't explained because I was like, What did I miss?
No.
Did I miss a scene here
I
where they
think I
explained?
mean, maybe she felt, and we didn't really see this either, but maybe Tracy saw what it looked like to have Sasha, like, called out by Drew in front of all these people.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why that didn't leap to mind, but when you mentioned her being called out in front of those people, I did enjoy the big scene in the Metro Court
Yes,
where
yes.
Carly was like just giving it to Drew and
Yeah,
flailing the tie in his face that she had
yeah,
bought
that
him. That
she
was a
can
nice detail.
how
Yeah.
scummy. Man, what a scumbag that guy is. Wearing a tie
Yeah.
Carly gave him probably while they were
Yeah.
doing it, right? I mean, she wouldn't have given it to him.
One would assume, like, I don't
Yeah.
mean, you mean she actually had him open the tie while they were doing it? Is that what you're saying? That's not
I
how we
get
do Christmas at our. It's an interesting idea, though.
I'm just trying to
For the
help you
holidays.
spice things up. Last time the suggestion was put a saddle on on your husband. You're welcome. I mean, this is all free advice, and anybody out there is interested in the saddle idea. You think you can rent a
Yeah.
saddle, Gia, for this
Well,
purpose?
I mean, you probably
Maybe
could,
you
but I
could
have this one. I'm giving it
rent
away.
yours
If
out.
people want to, yeah, I was gonna say maybe I should keep it for
Yeah.
sort of dominatrix kind of stuff. But I
Where
started
were we?
watching a new series on Netflix because I don't know, somebody
Nice
recommended.
segue.
Oh,
Do we
sorry,
want to hear this? No, go
I
ahead.
don't know. It's just that nobody warned me. It's called Love, and it was
Uh-huh.
like Judd Apatow is Apatow.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
and I saw
Uh-huh.
his name. I was like, oh, generally he's very funny stuff. So I thought,
Yeah,
okay,
uh-huh.
but they should have warned me that there was a fair amount of like pretty like open sex stuff in the first episode. I was being such a prude. I was like, oh, like I guess if I'd
Oh,
known.
oh.
I was like, oh, I really am an old lady because I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't know this was what was going to happen here.
What's that? That doesn't go there.
But it is funny. So I watched the second episode, and that wasn't.
I'm glad you got over
I
your
don't know.
discomfort.
I was like, certainly wouldn't be watching it like with strangers, and I don't know. It just
Mhm.
the human psyche is so interesting, isn't it?
It sure is, Gia. It
Anyway,
sure
okay,
is.
back to that. So that scene I thought was great with everybody like looking
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Carly made a lot of very good points. Drew had no comebacks. He's so
Salient point.
lame,
Well, he
you know.
switched it to the Jason thing, which she kind of opened the door to it, but
But that was like obviously like, that's not helping your cause, Drew. That's just being an
yeah, he
idiot
kept
and
saying like
being
who looks like a what did he
yeah.
say? A loser, or I can't remember what he was saying. Who looks like a loser now, or who looks? And I was thinking, still you, still you.
Yeah, always gonna be you, Drew. Always. Yeah. Yeah, and I liked
um,
that certain people like Anna was there to see this, and
that
Tracy
don't.
obviously didn't need to have any more evidence that Drew was such
Yeah,
an
that Drew's
awful
turned into.
person, but I think it did help her feel sympathy towards Sasha, so
Well, maybe that could help us square that other scene, but
I guess so, and I hope that Tracy will stay sort of in this mode a little bit more,
God,
you
let's
know?
hope so. Because yeah.
Yeah, so
And I still like Sasha being, I mean, it's soap opera ridiculousness that she's
Yeah,
not denying that Jason's the father, but
right.
that's just par for the course. But I do like that
Mhm.
she's being um just really strong and standing
Yeah.
up for herself and having boundaries with everybody. And
Yeah. And maybe on some level she realizes if she completely denies that it's Jason, their wheels will start turning about who it might be,
yeah,
you
it
know?
does work in her favor,
Yeah.
as far as keeping this secret.
Mhm.
So I know we're working towards the whole like propose it to Jason and just have it,
Yeah,
be the
become
thing.
like their story. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Carly was surprisingly cool about it, wasn't she? If, you
Yeah,
know.
she didn't. I don't know. We'll see what happens with her
Right,
in
she
the
I mean,
field.
maybe she
Yeah.
doesn't believe it, and
Yeah.
Carly would know Jason well enough maybe that she really knows that it couldn't be him, who knows,
Right.
but,
Yeah. But she might still
um
have a flip out like if he refuses to answer or something.
yeah, right, right. Although
Yeah.
she would, I think, would she respect the fact that they're kind of trying to help Michael? I think that's ultimately
If
their
she was in on it,
agenda.
if
Yeah,
she was in
so
on it, but
maybe she would get looped in at some point.
looped in. Look at you.
Thanks.
That's so so cute.
I had a Zoom meeting today. Can you tell?
Oh, did you loop people in? Mm. Did you move forward with different candidates or
And
anything
we
like that?
circled back to some things.
So to could you put a pin in it and
Put
then
a pin
circle
in
back?
things.
Oh my god.
Ah, business jargon is fun.
Business.
Yeah. But there were lots of other sort of little, like, ripples in a lot of these circumstances that I think, I don't know if we're gonna be able to keep up with everything today, but,
Yeah, they cooked up a lot of stuff.
yeah,
An
didn't they?
Another topic we need to address is
It's
our
your
newest
boy.
Brennan. Yeah,
Yeah.
so boy, they really like kept the lid on that because it was like, oh, the news came out, and then the
Yeah.
next day he was new. It's so weird, the leaking of stuff. There's a whole art and
I
science to it, apparently.
I guess so, and when I don't know why they think it's good to leak things sometimes, and why they protect things better other times, you know?
I'm guessing just to stir up more viewers, if they're,
I
like the
guess.
leak that Jason was coming back, so they leaked that
Well, yeah, if
way
somebody's
ahead of
coming
time. So
back, yeah,
yeah,
that makes sense, but if somebody good is leaving, then it almost makes you wanna stop watching before it happens, you know?
right. So
Not that we
they're
would
in.
ever stop,
That
but
answers you just answered the question
I
because
did.
yeah. So
They
they
didn't
didn't
want
leak
people
that till yeah, they didn't want people to stop watching, so they didn't leak it till the very last minute.
they must
And
know that we never stop watching, really.
I don't
We wish we could, but we can't. It's all we've got.
know.
So what do you think of this new guy? He seems like a complete departure, doesn't he? Not just accent-wise, but just
Well, right, he's no longer Australian.
right.
Oh, I know. What was the line that I thought was good the other day was about, oh, yeah, it was Lucas uh chatting
Ah, uh-huh.
with Joss or something about,
Uh-huh.
and they were talking about him, and he said something about, James Bond,
Yeah,
or maybe it
yeah.
was when he was talking to Carly about Brennan. Either way, I thought Lucas had some good lines.
Yeah, he did have some good lines. He was kind of the voice of reason with both of those ladies.
Yeah, and I like that how they're like, they didn't really do this before, but having Carly and Lucas actually have kind of a relationship.
Yeah, I like that too. I think that's nice to know
That's
that
sort of fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they can talk about a lot of things in a different way than she would with anybody else,
Right,
you
with
know?
anybody else. Yeah. Um
Mhm.
this Brennan, I'm going to try and give him a chance.
Sure, I'm not discounting him as a viable substitute, but it's just
Yeah.
always odd when they just seem like they do not care who they plug in,
Yeah.
into a role
Yeah.
sometimes, you know?
So we take a guy that gives like 90% of the viewership pants feeling. And you're immune apparently, but the rest of us were pretty hot under the collar about Brennan. For whatever reason. I don't know if it's the
Yeah.
accent or what, or
Well, he
he
had
had a
a bit
little
of
swagger.
swagger.
Yeah, he had
Exactly.
swagger. And this guy seems more like a banker than
Yeah, and he has kind of soft eyes, I thought. Like, he doesn't seem like someone who would kill a man just to watch him die. Does
going
he?
all Johnny Cash on
Although
us
I
now.
guess a banker might do that.
Well, they kill him in different ways, just to keep
Yeah.
denying them that loan they need for
Yeah.
$3,000 that would make a massive difference in their life, and they just will not give it to you.
Yeah, bastards.
You lose your house, and that's how they
Yeah.
kill you. But,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, he doesn't have James Bond appeal,
Not
which
really,
the other
no.
Brennan kind of had, and it's hard to see him um with Valentine, like
Yeah, he
trading
didn't.
veiled threats and being kind of funny, and we'll have to
Well,
see. Maybe he can pull
we'll
it off.
have to see, but he didn't look like maybe he works out much, which I'm not judging, but just like, it seems like Brennan probably did, exercise a bit.
Maybe, yeah. I think he was a big guy that sort of carried whatever,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Mhm.
but yeah, he looked more active. Yeah, this guy seems, I think he's younger probably actually, but he
Yeah,
seems
could
more
be.
middle-aged. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Um
So, yeah,
yeah,
this
so I'm not feeling it yet, but I'm going to try and give him a chance.
yeah, I know this is a blow to you to have, you lose your guy and then maybe
I
not
know.
have a new
I
guy that's
know.
gonna give you the same sort of, tingly feelings, you
Not
know?
yet. I mean, maybe he'll strip down and go to Volanino's, and I'll have a different reaction or something.
Yeah,
But so I mean,
yeah.
he looked nice in his shirt and tie.
Yeah, yeah, he didn't seem like he had quite the edge, right? Like, when he
Yeah,
was
he just
talking to
doesn't have
Carly.
that like man of mystery spy thing going
Yeah,
on. That's
like,
all.
even when the old Brennan was with Carly and you knew he liked her, you didn't entirely trust that he would always be good to her, right? I
Yeah, this
mean,
guy seems like maybe he'd be more good, like
yeah,
or
yeah,
more bad. I don't know.
right, we
Yeah,
don't know. But this'll be a
that.
test to
Yeah.
see if she's chemistry with everyone as we thought she had before.
She seems to. She kind of does seem to. She's sort of
Yeah,
amazing that way. And her
yeah.
hair has looked fantastic. I just shout out to the hair people. They like
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
when she flicks it back with her hand, she gets it like tucked into the other hair just
Mhm,
right, and it looks
mhm.
good. I don't know how
Yeah.
she does it.
Yeah, but so yeah, she's had some good moments. I was a little surprised that she left Baden-Baden so soon, I thought she was gonna be there a while.
Yeah, yeah, it seemed a little like, yeah, just get him there and then take
They
off
just
seems
got
a little
there so
weird.
they could
Yeah,
hang out at
yeah,
the fire pit that
the
was
fire pit.
actually at the Home
Yeah,
Depot down the road, so,
yeah.
they
Everybody
didn't have to
loves
go
a
to
good
Germany.
fire pit. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Um,
so. Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, new character. We're gonna give him time.
Yes, we will, because we're
New
nothing
actor.
if not
Yeah.
open-minded.
You should have just stopped with we're nothing.
Point taken, Gia.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'll tell you something that I think I sort of had a favorable impression of overall. I mean, I don't know if it was perfect, but the scene between Elizabeth and Lucky when they were at her house
Oh
talking
yeah.
about.
Okay, it's all coming back to me. I should have just rewatched. Yes, that was lovely. That was other than the fact that the song, it was like that was the lamest song that I've never heard.
It made me just wish they had enough money, and it seems like they should when everybody's wearing secondhand clothing now and doing their own, it's like you can't just buy one good
You
song
can't spring
for
for
these
one
2,
decent
so
song.
it could
Yeah.
be their song,
Yeah.
because,
Um,
yeah, that would
I
have
know
been
because
really powerful if it had been a really good song.
a good song or something that evocative of whatever era
Yeah.
that was, whatever
Yeah.
year that was, it would have brought us
Yeah.
back to that. Which I don't know, was
Uh-huh.
that in the 90s? Was that all the way back in the 90s? Maybe.
Yeah, if was it even it must have been at least that long ago, I guess, huh?
So we could have had some like Smashing Pumpkins, or what would you have
Ooh.
had if you could
Well,
have
I think I
chosen?
would have had something, yeah, kinda moody, not as rocking as Smashing
The
Pumpkins,
the
I don't
Goo
think.
Goo Dolls? Would you have had the Goo Goo
I
Dolls?
don't think I would have the Goo Goo Dolls. Stop it.
I would have had that Champagne Supernova song.
Oh god, that would have made it so bad.
I don't know who sings that song. That was on, like, I swear, every time we'd got in the car late night, it was like, Champagne Supernova. Who sings that? Is
Sister
that the Smashing?
Christian, what about Sister Christian? That would have been fun.
That's earlier than the
I
90s, isn't
know.
it?
Let me see if I can find the era of Champagne Supernova. Gosh. I'm thinking less of
Champagne
that sort of sound. I don't know.
Champagne
Oh,
Supernova. Oasis. I think I've looked
Oasis,
Oasis
yeah.
up before.
Huh.
Something by what's the like sort of U2 light group?
Hmm.
Coldplay.
Coldplay, yeah,
Yeah,
Coldplay, the
something by
Cold
Coldplay would have worked.
and I bet Chris Martin seems like a nice enough guy. I bet he would have, like, let them have
Look
this
at
a
you,
song for cheap.
like Chris Martin. That just rolls right off your tongue.
Well, they're still active, they still are.
Are they?
Yeah, yeah, they're still on the radio, Gia. They're still touring and stuff.
What radio? Not my radio. What's like one of their big songs? I should know, right?
Well, they got Sparks, Yellow. They have newer songs. The Scientist.
I
Fix
don't know.
Fix You? Yeah. Anyway.
Every time I heard them, I always just thought, I bet they wish they could sing like Bono.
That's not a very nice thing to say. And I would say that just about any band with a lead singer has probably thought that at some point.
We
Yeah.
could sing like Bono.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Coldplay would have worked. I'm sure they're good. I'm not familiar. I don't know what I was doing in the 90s. Other stuff.
You were busy hanging out at sandwich shops.
So getting the loose meat. You know what would have done you in probably? I mean, you maybe didn't hang out a lot at like Euro shops, where they have it on a
Oh God, where it
spit
rotates
thing.
and yuck, yeah.
Yeah. And it's
We
out
didn't
all
have
day, like with the flies
Yeah.
on it. But yeah.
A good idea.
Did I
Play
lose you?
formed in 1997, so they might be a little late in the day, maybe.
Late, maybe? Yeah, we don't know when. Anyway.
What about like some prefab Sprout? That could be fun.
I don't know what they sound like.
Okay, yeah, but I'm not sure that's the mood I'm going for either. But anyway,
it would have to be like a moody song that they could slow dance to.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't be like Freebird. That would have been funny though.
That smell. Even like some Neil Young, some Neil Young is nice and sexy, like Harvest Moon or something. His version of Harvest.
They could have, yeah, like a later Neil Young could have worked. Yeah.
Anyway, but we could do this all night, and
we could go on picking out a song for Lucky and Elizabeth, but they deserved a better song than whatever that.
They definitely did. I would have even settled for them like rehashing Jason and Sam's song.
Oh, I got so sick of that. Pablum. That Pablum. Is that the right word?
I think it is, but I don't care for it in this context.
I don't care for it. No, it's bland or insipid intellectual fare, entertainment, etc.
Wait a minute, did you look that up that quickly?
Yeah, I'm good.
No, you're not.
I am too.
No, okay, you are. You can be, but I didn't think you were looking stuff up these days. That's
what? This is all confusing here.
Well, usually I'm the one who has to look stuff up.
It is still used today as a staple food for infants and young children. What? So there must be.
So like that,
There
like whatever that
must be.
rice
Oh,
cereal or
there's like
whatever.
it's like a cereal, pablum cereal, a
Yeah.
multigrain processed cereal developed as nutritious pre-cooked digestible food for. Oh, okay.
So
Well,
that's
that
what that
explains it.
song is to you?
Well, which came first then, the insipid intellectual fare or the like
I
pre-chewed
would think
cereal?
the cereal maybe, but I
Mm.
that's maybe a discussion for another day.
These weird questions come up when you Google stuff. One question
Yeah.
says, "Why not put rice cereal in a bottle?" I mean, who hasn't wondered about that?
Yeah. I wish my cereal came in a bottle.
My rice cereal.
Doesn't that make it socky?
I'd be on board with that. That's my
Yeah.
kind of cereal. Nice. Start your day with a nice warm sake. Um,
That does sound kind of
anyway,
nice right now.
that was a lovely scene with Elizabeth and Lucky, and until Rick ruined it. Rick comes
Yeah,
in with his
yeah. But I thought,
big
yeah,
old
the
pelt
way,
head. Yeah,
yeah, Rick, that's just it. It was kind of unfortunate. I thought that he had to break into that moment because it seemed like they were doing such a nice job, sort of like navigating those waters with each other, you know?
yeah, and they've kind of taken their time with them, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah. And I liked whole Elizabeth's sort of speech, like that she's not an angel. She doesn't want to be his
Yeah,
angel, you
doesn't want to
know?
be put on a pedestal, and
Yeah,
right
and his
because
response, I thought, seemed sincere too, that he just wanted her to be her, you
he
know?
does seem like the kind of guy though that would put women like sort of
Yeah,
worship them and be
yeah,
yeah yeah.
but, but I liked that. Yeah,
W-
he seemed kind of vulnerable to me there.
We might get a little satisfaction on that storyline. Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, like a properly paced, nice
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
Um. Another big storyline that we saw a lot of was the Brooklyn
Mhm.
already had a baby, and then it came to its sort of head that we knew was coming today with the big
Mhm.
reveal, with Lois revealing who it was, and
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
was hoping
yeah.
that was going to be a red herring that they'd like a leak that they'd put out there just to have it be something completely different, but no.
Yeah, yeah, I know, that was just like, "Yeah, okay, now what?" You know?
I guess it's a way to give Geo a big storyline because a lot will
Yeah,
go on there with him processing.
yeah,
Um, number one, that he was adopted, and number two, like, oh, that he's been living here with his mother and father in the same town, and it's going to be.
mhm. Yeah, and I hadn't thought before about how Olivia is gonna react to this
Wait, let me think. Why would Olivia? Because
because
it's
she's
Dante's
Dante's
years.
mom.
Oh, so it's her grandson, and
Yeah,
Lois has kept the information from her all this time.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
Lois is gonna really be in the doghouse over the
yeah,
whole
she
thing, I
is, and
guess.
she's
Yeah.
boy, talk about her fretting in that face, you know, we're gonna see nothing but that
Yeah,
face
nothing but that face.
for a couple
Her
months.
little pantsuit today was
Yeah.
just awful. I like the you didn't know where I was going, did you?
I was like, "Please say awful, please say awful."
And I bought it for you for your birthday. No, I thought the cut of it, like the actual suit itself was kind of cool, but the material, the print,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like I feel like I've sat on that couch at a condo or something. It was just the colors were
Condo.
horrific,
Yeah,
and it was like ugh.
yeah,
Like,
but,
why do they do that to her? I know they're trying to make her look sort of like fashion forward and trendy all the time, but they put her in some butt ugly outfits.
yeah, like, I think, yeah, she's supposed to be, like, trendy, but, like, a little bit outlandish or something, you know, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know why that's necessary, you know, like
Why and why it can't be attractive at the same time,
yeah, yeah, it seems like it could be attractive and still a little bit, like, you know, wild.
Yeah, edgy, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's bad.
I'll tell you a character I do not like and do not care to see very often, but whose outfit I did like. Can you guess who this might be?
Well, I know we've talked about we don't really like seeing Emma. Um,
Or Wiley, but it's neither of them.
I was thinking, I can't think of any of Emma's outfits that you would all like. She was wearing like an almost not on sweater at one point. I didn't like.
Yeah, yeah.
Other characters you don't want to see. You liked Cyrus's outfit?
No,
Uh,
but you're closer. Selena's, do you
oh,
remember her, like,
oh
sort
no, I
of
don't remember what she was
groovy? It was
wearing.
kinda like a groovy, sort of slinky sorta dress, I think it was,
Okay.
when Drew went to visit her, which was also and then Cody, like, burst
Oh
in on.
right, yeah, I forgot all about the Cody stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So are we gonna see Cody just go back to the?
well, I don't know, like, I thought he was kind of looking to get himself killed by either Selena or Drew because he's just
Oh,
sorta,
because
like,
he's so
pushing it, you
miserable.
know?
He's like death by whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, just to sort of, like, with the way he was talking to Drew with Selena right there, seemed a little bit dicey, and then, I don't know how much Drew is gonna take from Cody,
That was a satisfying moment
yeah,
though when Cody
yeah,
was like basically saying everything that was true about
yeah,
Drew, and it was like,
yes,
dude, he's
yeah.
got you pegged. He
Uh-huh.
totally
Yeah.
nailed you. Um,
And that was like another peg lower that Drew sank, by dealing with Selena to get back at Curtis.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's all yeah, yeah. He's really. I saw there was a little clip of a bunch of the cast went on the what was it? Jennifer
Oh,
Hudson
yeah, yeah,
podcast?
yeah, uh-huh.
Did you see that little clip?
I didn't see I saw that they were gonna be on, but I didn't see
Oh,
it.
well. Anyway, so Cameron was talking about the new reaction to current
Uh-huh.
Drew, and he
Uh-huh.
was saying how um like he was at a grocery store and somebody recognized him, and initially they were
Ooh,
like, "Oh, so
tomato eye.
excited to meet him," and then they threw an apple at him. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the
Good
but
for
he
them.
was being a good sport. He was kind of like saying that,
Yeah.
any attention is good. So he's like, love him or hate him, it's
Yeah,
better than just
yeah.
having people kind of ignore the character. So,
Right, if
um,
he's provoking that stronger reaction, I guess they're doing
yeah,
something right.
yeah. But he was kind
Mhm.
of enjoying playing the bad guy right now, I guess. So,
Yeah, he's just
like, good,
so
good
bad.
job. You're really good at being a scuzzbag.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah,
is. Mhm.
the guy we love to hate. But I mean, I still kind of feel like we're gearing up to have him murdered at some point.
Something, I don't know if I was thinking about that today, and it did seem like that door opened a little bit more today. Um, but then
Oh,
I
and
was
we
also thinking Cody's putting himself at risk, and so many other people, like, I was thinking, what's his name? Brad confronting Cyrus, like, how
Oh,
many
yeah,
times did he
yeah. Yeah.
that was great, it was so brave of him, but how many times is Cyrus gonna take that from him, you know?
Right, yeah. Everybody's in danger with Cyrus, and
Yeah, Joss.
like Josh,
Ugh,
Jesus, like the
yeah,
yeah.
I
Um,
know.
that was like a horror movie. Like, get out of there, get out of there.
I know. She played that pretty well, that super. She did a good job acting like,
Yeah, don't rent at that apartment though. I mean, seriously,
No,
that apartment
no.
building is not
Mm-mm.
safe if that's all
Right.
it takes to get in a room.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of people being murdered, we had
Mhm.
another glimpse of um Christina. She said something very
Yeah.
chilling
Revenge, something
to
about revenge,
yeah,
right?
like you don't
Mhm.
see revenge in the same way that
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
do or something like that. And
Mhm.
if they're doing like a slow burn thing with her where she's
Yeah.
working her way up to killing Ava, I'm kind of giving credit for doing this so slowly.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh.
pacing, I guess I'm talking about. And
Mhm. Mhm.
but it's like, yeah, it's a chilling little glimpse of her personality at the moment.
It is, yeah, she's a little bit I don't know, like, I didn't when she talked about not telling Danny,
Yeah, that was stupid. That was just
Yeah,
stupid. Like he's
that
not gonna
that
know.
Right. If he's 15 and he hasn't heard
Yeah.
about this already,
Yeah. Although he did seem really slow on the uptake when they were telling him. Felt bad for him.
Like, whoa, what happened?
Whoa, wait a minute, back it up.
I thought she was just sleeping. Wait a minute, what happened?
That was another annoying scene though. Like they bring him over and it's gonna be pizza and a movie, and then suddenly after
we gotta get him home. Drop a bomb.
minutes, suddenly too late to keep him there.
Just like
late.
tell him the most traumatic news. I'm sorry, we don't actually have pizza.
Yeah, there's no pizza. That was just a trap.
No, you can't even have a glass of water. It's time to get you back home.
Yeah, I thought that was poorly thought out. Like, I can understand a few like timing things changing, but it's like he literally was there for 5 minutes.
Yeah, they didn't even sit down, did they?
Yeah, I don't think so.
And why couldn't they all have? They could have just gone over to the Quartermains and talked to him there. That seemed weird. Also, just to pick him up and bring him. I guess it gave what's her name, Molly, a chance to talk to Cody. But it's like, I don't know.
And I still, every time I see one of those boys, I'm like, wait a minute. Which?
I know. I know.
Which boy and who's your father? Wait a minute.
Exactly.
Like when he went back to the Quartermains, he was talking to Rocco.
Yeah.
And he said something and he just said, Mom wasn't whatever. But he didn't say my mom. And then I was like, wait a minute. Is that, is Rocco? Well,
is Brooklyn their mom too?
I had to think so hard about who they were. That's on me. That's on me. But I was kind of like, well, could they wear shirts or something, or jerseys?
My mom got murdered and all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
P.S. Jason's my father. Yeah, it's just on me, but if we saw him every day, I'd probably get it sorted.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. Like when he said, "Does my dad know?" I was thinking,
like, wait a minute, who's your dad?
I wanted them to like give me a minute. Don't answer him yet. Let me figure out who his dad is.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
And that was a weird time for Jason to suddenly be gone, I mean, I know it makes sense that he wanted to see Michael.
Baden-Baden.
You say it better than I do.
It's fun. It's a fun one.
Yeah. But after all this talk about being there for Danny, he's gone the minute Danny hears the most depressing news. But Jason didn't know this news was coming either.
They didn't coordinate it with him, which would have been the considerate thing to do.
Weren't there some people, like, even in that household who thought Jason shouldn't be told? Or was it, am I misremembering? Either somebody I thought didn't want them to get back to Jason right away. I don't remember, though.
Was it Alexis? Because she's worried that everybody's worried that he'll murder somebody.
I know. I love how she goes to worst case scenario with Jason. You know, that seems mean.
She's definitely got a bee in her bonnet about him. And
always
has. She
always has. And I don't think he's ever been anything but kind to her.
Exactly. I can't remember, but yeah, you're right. Somebody doesn't want him to. Yeah,
I thought so. And at the time when I heard whoever said that, I thought, oh, come on, Yeah. How can you think that this is? I mean, it was another soap opera sort of judgment call, but whatever. Well, they get tiresome.
They do occasionally, but we're still gonna watch. I mean, make no mistake.
Yeah, give us your worst.
Yeah. Oh, I'm changing topics, but since you don't do our Facebook page anymore, so you don't see. But I did post the picture of
the Star Trek picture with what's her name?
The Star Trek picture, Tasha Yar, and I wanted to tell you we had 2 people who commented using the name Tasha Yar. And I was like, that was so heartwarming for me that I'm not the only one who's still mourning the character of Tasha Yar.
Yeah, that
And
must
so
have made you feel so
you're really
good.
the only one who doesn't know who that is, you know?
There's you 3 against me. Okay.
We can take
I don't mind being in the minority here, Gia.
at least I don't know every Coldplay song.
Ouch. You think that hurts, but it makes you look just as bad.
Because I don't know any Coldplay songs.
I don't
I
know
feel
which
like
is
I
worse,
do.
knowing or
I
not
feel
knowing. You do. You totally would. You would recognize him if I
totally
played some.
would. I don't know. I'm quite a dinosaur.
That reminds me, my friend Bailey, who listens, even though she doesn't watch Hospital, she said
She listens to us. Oh my
she
God.
listens
Talk
to
about
us, yeah.
pablum.
She said, "What are you guys gonna do when you run out of episodes to watch?"
Run out of episodes. Like, you
She
mean when
didn't.
they
She
stop
didn't
it?
think.
Like,
She didn't think they still made new episodes. She
oh,
thought,
she just thought that we're watching reruns. Of-
yeah, like how could they possibly still be churning out episodes of General Hospital? Who would watch that?
You're
Hello,
looking at 'em.
over here.
I know. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's well, and some people just do not like my mother. Like, she like the TV would never be on in the daytime. Like, the only time the TV was on in the daytime is if you were ill and home from school,
Yeah.
and that was the only
Well,
time you were watching
yeah.
Price is Right, you know, or
That
whatever.
reminds me, Gia, I was thinking about like Kai's football injury. And it reminded me of my brother Johnny, uh, your
Aw,
favorite brother.
Johnny, yeah.
He could make a good Brennan, maybe.
He would be an
Um
excellent man of mystery. Yep.
but Johnny broke his leg playing football in high school, and
Yeah.
as a result, that's when he was watching General Hospital with me, like because he was home,
Aw,
and
that's
so
so
he'd start.
cute.
Yeah, that
Aw.
was like during the Frisco era, so we called it the Frisco Show, and
Uh-huh.
so he had, yeah, so maybe Kai will become like a soap fan,
Was Johnny going to go on in football and like make it a career and that ended it? Was it like a
I
direct
don't think he had maybe the potential of a Kai, but he was always a good athlete.
I bet
Um,
he was.
that wasn't his favorite sport.
I know he was good at tennis. I know he
Uh, yeah. He
anyway,
had more
okay, that's
natural
cute.
athletic ability, I would say, than any of the rest of us.
Uh-huh, okay.
But
Yeah, that's
anyway,
like me. Just really a natural
yes.
athlete.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Gifted you are. Yeah.
sure. Yep.
But yeah, that whole like getting injured or sick and watching the daytime TV. Yeah, that's true. That was true for Johnny.
Do you remember hacky sack when hacky sack was a big thing?
Mhm. I
Playing hacky
do.
sack. They used to
Yeah.
call me in college. They called me the black hole.
Are you sure it's because of that or
Pretty sure, like, because in the circle, that's where the hacky sack always hit the ground. Like, I could not. I was like, well, don't get me all stoned and drunk and then throw this little beanbag at me. Like, there's no way in hell I'm ever going to be able to. My
that probably makes
reflexes.
most people play better.
I think so. They were crazy good with it. I'd be like, don't.
You paint a nice picture.
Standing there in my tie dye.
Yeah, I gotta picture that so vividly. And
Yeah,
their
just standing
disappointed faces.
completely still as that little
Like
beanbag heads my
all these
way,
other
you know,
people, like,
like,
who let her in the circle,
yeah,
man?
10 minutes later, I lift my foot up. Hey, man.
Uh,
Anyway, okay, well, what else happened that we need to talk about? Well, I know
mhm.
a big thing. I want you to explain it to me a little bit if you can.
Okay.
So they're trying to weave in the Austin
Yeah,
Gatlin Holt again. Like, what are they
right.
doing?
That was Anna left field too, and it
Yeah.
was, I mean, it was a I say a brave attempt to drag that back into the light. Yeah, I guess that's where Cyrus is holing up or planning his evil deeds, I guess, right? Is at Austin's old cabin.
Austin's old cabin, and he Cyrus was blackmailing Austin.
Yeah, yeah,
Why? What was he
to testify at what was it as parole hearing or something like
to get
that?
him out of prison? What did he
Yeah.
have on Austin?
Oh, I forget. I forget.
That
Hmm.
he killed Nicholas, although he didn't really kill him. Was that what it
Man,
was, or
I
was it
don't
something else?
remember Gia, and of course they're counting on us not to remember.
Yeah, I just wonder why they chose to throw that name back out there.
Yeah, I know. Did Joss come across this by Googling Cyrus Renault, I guess?
Maybe we should all be Googling Cyrus Renault.
And don't you think it's a little weird that Brennan, new or old Brennan, is okay with her circling around Cyrus Renault?
Yeah, he's grooming her. I mean, he's
Yeah,
like,
he's like, yeah,
yeah. Oh,
pointing her in the
Carly is.
direction of him.
Yeah, Carly is gonna be livid when she finds
Livid,
out about it. Yeah,
livid, and we and
livid. She's gonna be throwing a tie around, and
yeah, yeah, she's gonna choke him with Drew's tie.
is that what the kids are doing these days too? Like, is that a
No, I don't. I hope not. Maybe they are. I don't. They're into all kinds of stuff. If they see it on TikTok, they have to try it.
is that I've never like I've seen TikTok videos on Instagram or on, but I've never like been on TikTok.
I'm not sure. I think I've been
Does
on
it
TikTok.
exist, or didn't they just block it or something?
Well, I think it
Or
got
did
a
that?
reprieve for a little while. But
Okay.
there's lots of new musicians and even authors who are honestly.
You
There's
mean
some.
more recent than Coldplay?
I mean, like fucking like 25-year-old and younger. There's this artist, Lizzie McAlpin. I think she might have
Okay.
gotten her start on TikTok, and she's incredible.
And what does she
Lizzie
play?
McAlpin. She's I don't
What?
know if she plays
The Watch
piano
Party?
too. No, she's got a beautiful voice. She's got a beautiful voice. Great songs. She's awesome. But I was playing my playlist when my brother Charlie and I were in the car one day, and there's like a whole bunch of these young women who are just all so good. And one of them came on and he goes, "That sounds like the Indigo Girls." I was like, wanted to pull over the car and just say, "Get out."
Did it?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. But I tell you, Spotify has turned me on to a lot of these young women who are just incredible.
And see, I'm just going backwards. I like have stuff playing, and every time I'm like, oh, that's a fun song. Who is that? Every time now it's John Prine. I'm like, how did I miss the
Every
whole
time.
John Prine every fucking
Well,
time?
you probably did you watch the Grammys at all?
No.
Yeah, well, you would have liked it because the Stones won rock album, which is ridiculous.
Why?
And the
Because
Beatles won a Grammy. It's like, what the fuck is happening? It's crazy, stupid. They should be ashamed of themselves.
yeah, I didn't think I'd know anybody, but now like I wouldn't have known those two. So
Yeah.
yeah. I know that Sierra Farrell, I'm a Sierra Farrell fan, and she won a bunch of stuff, and I'd say she's
Okay.
very deserving. Do you know who that is?
No.
Wow.
Oh, come on. You're allowed to do that.
Well, I don't know if you'd like her or not, but I guess you'd say she's alt country?
Okay. Yeah.
Alt country, like
Uh-huh.
I think she had to have come up through bluegrass stuff.
Uh-huh.
She's
Okay.
amazingly talented, and
Mm.
she's like comes out in these get-ups. Like I don't know how
Uh-huh.
she's performing in these massive, weird,
Uh-huh.
bizarre
Okay.
costumes, and
Uh-huh.
so I like her. Do you know who Billy Strings is?
Yep. Yep. Billy Strings. Yep. Heard Billy Strings.
Anyway, why are
Yeah.
we talking about these people?
Not sure how we got here. We were talking about Cyrus and Austin and
Oh, right,
TikTok. We
yeah.
were talking about
Oh,
TikTok.
yeah, we got off. So, we're sorry,
Yeah,
people.
sorry, but
Um, so
check
I
out
just
Lizzie
wasn't
McAlpin, everyone.
okay. I just wasn't sure if there was significance to throwing that name out. Like,
Yeah.
are we gonna have him be alive somehow? I don't think they left that door open to have that happen, did they?
No, I don't. Well, I don't think so, but I think it's to explain where Joss is going. How or
I know, but that's so they could have had anywhere. They didn't
yeah,
need to. I mean,
yeah, true,
he
true. I
could have been
guess
in
maybe,
Beecher's Corner. Is that in Beecher's Corners?
or is it in Pawtuck? Does she have to
Oh
go all the
yeah,
way to
Pata.
Pawtuck? Wouldn't it be great if it was in Nixon Falls? Shit.
Yeah,
Why
let's
couldn't
get
they
back
throw
to
us a
Nixon
bone once
Falls.
in a while,
I know, with our stupid name. God, otherwise we could quit our day jobs. We'd be like living off the fat of the land on this podcast.
But no, we had to pick
No,
the Tano, and then
we
it had to burn to the ground the next day.
we've got our fingers on the pulse of everything, really.
That pretty much tells the story right there.
Yeah,
The name of our podcast,
yeah.
who you're dealing with.
Doomed.
Oh,
All
oh
right.
boy.
What else happened? We had.
Well, we had Jordan and Isaiah
Oh
and
yeah,
and
and
Jen Sidwell.
Jens.
And
Yeah.
I liked how Jordan is like, well, he's interested in me. She said that about 5 times. It's like, you have no idea. He's been rubbing up against every woman in town,
Every eligible lady in
you
town.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, why didn't Isaiah like take a hint, right? Because like, okay, she's working him obviously, and he's gonna like kind of screw it up.
Yeah.
Um, I'm still not. I'm not buying Jordan and Isaiah together. I saw some post
No.
about how like they are the sexiest new couple. I'm like, I don't. I'm not feeling it. But
I think he's doing a better job of looking like he's into her than she is. She seems like sort of still like leaning back as he leans forward.
yeah, she might be just thinking like she doesn't want him to see that she's a decade older, so she might be trying to keep a little distance.
Or maybe she truly only finds him attractive when he's unconscious.
That's kind of not a bad policy, like that's
What are you saying, Gia? Should we be doing a welfare check on your husband right now?
I find most people easier to deal with when they're
More
unconscious.
palatable
Yeah.
when you slip them a little something.
No, God, we're in bad territory here. No, we are not recommending any of that.
No,
I'm
I've
thinking that,
never slipped anyone anything ever.
wow, we could really go places with these statements, but we're gonna take the high road.
Okay,
All
let's see how
right.
that goes. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other little scenes we had. We had those people not interested in gens at all, but whatever if they
Nope,
can
nope.
make that interesting somehow.
I doubt it. I really doubt
I doubt it. Doubt it. You can try, but we doubt
Yeah.
it.
I kinda
Um,
wished that Brad's speech, targeting Cyrus, I wish Portia had heard a little of that. I don't know, it felt like that was the only purpose of it was to provoke Cyrus, but Brad didn't earn any points really otherwise.
oh, I have another question. Speaking about Brad and Portia and
Mhm.
Curtis.
Yeah.
So, didn't Portia reveal to Curtis that what she'd done with Heather's test results? Didn't she break down and tell him the whole thing?
I thought she had.
But so
Yeah,
she told him all that, but she didn't tell him that Brad was blackmailing her with it?
I thought she had told him that too. Hadn't she? Because
Well, I just
otherwise,
kind of remember that she revealed to Curtis that she had done this and they were gonna,
yeah,
damage control it. And then I was thinking,
yeah,
why? What would the purpose be of withholding the information about Brad? Like,
yeah,
so I
yeah,
didn't know what
right.
was going on there.
I
Um,
know. I'm pretty sure she told Curtis that Brad knew what she had done. I can't remember
Yeah, so
exactly,
I don't
but
know what they're doing there,
yeah,
but I do
I don't
love
either.
Brad though. I just can't help myself. And
Yeah.
I like that little scene where Carly comes over and grabs Lucas away and like,
Yeah.
when he's
Yeah.
getting sucked into the Brad thing
Mhm.
again. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so they have potential together as a brother and sister, I think.
They do. I She's just really good. When she's good, she's really good, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Um so and I kind of like the build up to this Miami convention thing with Brad
Ugh.
and Lucas, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of thought it had already happened. I was like, oh, they haven't, I thought it, I don't know,
Right.
but maybe, give them some more, give them a storyline. That's cool. Like,
You think
I,
we'll get an exterior shot of Miami or something and then, see them around
uh,
a fire pit, something like
yeah,
that?
maybe a fire pit or a whirlpool, or I don't know what Miami in what month are we supposed to be in? February? It'd be pretty warm
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Um, but I think everybody's enjoying this Lucas. Like, I liked the old Lucas too,
Mhm.
but
Mhm. Yeah.
This
He's
Lucas
game
is
for
like,
everything. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he's a good, like, you put throw him with anybody and he seems to do
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So good job, young man.
Yeah, good job, young fella. It's a good recast. Although I
Yes,
really liked the old Lucas too. I didn't. He
I
was a
did
lot more
too.
serious.
I was gonna say that, yeah, he seemed a little bit more a little introspective, a
Yeah,
little
he
yeah.
was very, very handsome, I
He
thought.
he was handsome, yes. Yes, he
I know he
was.
wasn't playing for my team, but anyway, I like this new one.
Mhm. Yep, yep.
So that'd be cool to give them a new storyline.
Yeah, mhm.
See more of them. What else? Who else do we need to talk about here?
I don't know, but we did have a lot of balls in the air these last 3 days.
Yeah, they're kind of throwing stuff out there.
Mhm. Yeah.
The Cyrus stuff, like, yeah, there's a lot of sort of, I don't know if you'd call it progress or movement on the storylines, but there's a
Well,
lot of
and
different
yeah, it
threads.
looks like if Danny and Rocco are gonna conspire to
I
take
know we're gonna
Cyrus
have a lot
down.
of like Scooby
Ugh,
Doo stuff going on.
it seems like
Uh,
they might do something. I don't want them to get in big trouble. I don't want them to do anything that is gonna haunt them for the rest of their lives, you know?
yeah, we all do stuff that haunts us during
Yeah,
those
that's
years,
true.
but
And looking
but
back, some of it wasn't really that big a deal probably. But
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, hopefully they won't endanger their lives or anything. But
yeah.
they'll probably have to have a big rescue or something.
Maybe, and well, yeah, there'll be
Jason.
so many people circling around Cyrus and vice
Yeah,
versa that they'll
yeah.
probably run into some backup at some point. I was gonna say we have a hint that Nina and Carly might put their heads together
Oh
to take
yeah,
down
yeah, that
Drew.
was good. We always like it when
We
former
do.
enemies team up. Yeah, we
Yes,
do. We do.
yes.
So we
Against a
might have satisfaction there and satisfaction with Lucky and Elizabeth. So
yeah,
we're
yeah.
not hating everything about Hospital right
No,
now. And
we're
that,
not. Yeah, who said that line? I'm not Oh, Lucy. Lucy had a good line about Jason and Sasha. That was the one line
oh
I
yeah,
liked of
yeah.
hers.
She's like, she
She's
wasn't
not
hating that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I like that.
I don't know if I'm hating it either. I think I like both
Mhm.
of them.
Mhm.
They're both kind
Mhm.
of characters that have their own like integrity going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, they've
Mhm.
both done things in gray areas like murder.
Mhm.
Um,
And they both
but
seem like they're sort of like an island, like they're not like they're a bit more introverted maybe. I mean,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
they're their own, like they keep their
yeah.
own counsel more.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I should
Mhm.
keep my own counsel, shouldn't
I
I?
wish we would just, yeah, keep our mouths shut sometimes, but here we are.
Here we are. No, we said let's do the opposite and just
Let's
blast it
share
out over
this,
the airways. Yeah, let's
whatever
share.
this
This is
is.
so good. Let's share it. Brilliant. Well, anyway, I think that's kind of my take on the last few days. I'm
Yeah,
liking it.
yeah, I think they were an interesting and a lively 3 days. For midweek, I would say that was a bit
Yeah,
unexpected,
yeah.
yeah.
So good job, everybody.
Yeah, yeah, although, they
Overall,
could try harder in some areas.
a few areas,
Yeah,
yes, but
mhm,
overall,
overall.
we see some bright spots.
Mhm, yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right,
All
Gia.
right. Well, we did it again. We chewed up another hour
Yeah, we did. That you'll
talking
never
about
get
this
back. Sorry.
pablum. Yep.
The word of the day is
Yep.
pablum.
Pablum. Yep. Okay. Well,
Okay.
you have a lovely evening, and we'll talk in a few days.
Okay, Gia. Good night.
All right. See ya.
Bye.